Adiós Violet, adiós guinea pigs, adiós perritos. Hasta nunca.
It's time for Anali to say hasta la vista to the madhouse in Kentucky and hello to life on vacation in California. But if Clayton was hoping to impress her and finally get lucky, well, sorry, publicly humiliating her in front of his friend isn't gonna get him laid.
Virgin because I don't drink alcohol, so I gotta get the virgin version because I'm effectively living as a virgin because we haven't been having sex recently. I just figured I would share that with you.
Awkward. Yeah. Now, before we dive into Clayton's royal f***up, let's rewind to the beginning. So the last we saw these two, Anali was opening up about the major culture shock she's experienced since arriving in the States. The way Clayton lives his life, the guinea pigs in the living room, the mum in the closet, the gaming every day. Well, it's all getting too much for her. She's started to get cabin fever. And luckily, when we join them in this episode, they're finally getting far, far away from that house.
Hoy día vamos a ver mi mejor amigo, Kameron, en California.
Siento que este es el momento perfecto para poder escapar por fin de este apartamento.
That's an interesting choice of word, Anali. It's a perfect time to escape this apartment. I think that tells us everything we need to know about her first month in America. She essentially feels like she's a prisoner in what's supposed to be her own home. It's all been very suffocating for her, and she's positively delighted to be leaving.
Adiós Violet, adiós guinea pigs, adiós perritos. Hasta nunca.
Unfortunately for Anali, as much as she might like to never see them again, this trip is only for a few days, so they'll be returning home very soon. But as they touch down in California, the excitement is building. And it's not just Anali who's excited. Clayton is finally going to get to meet Kameron, his best friend of over 10 years, in person. And it's fair to say, his excitement might be making Anali a little bit jealous.
¿Pero estás más emocionado de verlo a él ahora o cuando fuiste por primera vez a Perú a verme a mí? Dime.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Anali really wants to hear the answer to that question. This decade-long bromance that he has with Kameron might just eclipse the romance or the supposed romance that he has with Anali. Like, there's no denying it. From the moment he and Kameron clap eyes on each other, there seems to be more chemistry between them than there is between Clayton and his fiance.
What's up, bro?
Sam?
Give me a hug, bro.
Oh, yeah, man.
Good to meet you. Yeah, good to meet you, man. What happened?
Just look at those big smiling faces, those big bright eyes. The way they're staring at each other, the way they're stealing a glance. Well, this is what love actually looks like. The hugs, the affection, the sweet nicknames that they have for each other. This is the most affection that Clayton's had all season long. And Anali can sense it. She feels like the third wheel here.
¿Qué está pasando? Creo que ni por mí corrió así cuando me vio por primera vez.
See, I'm a bromance. Got the bromance going on.
Look, just compare the way that Clayton's eyes light up every time he looks at Kameron to how he and Anali interact with each other. We can all see it. Something's clearly not right with their relationship. But, as ever, Clayton hopes to change all of that with this trip. He's hoping to finally be able to spark some romance into his and Anali's relationship. After all, they're now miles and miles away from his mum, and Clayton has pushed the boat out to really impress Anali with a gorgeous house for them to stay in.
We haven't had a lot of privacy since Anali arrived, so I splurged a little bit.
Me gusta este lugar.
It feels amazing having a proper house all by ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, look, anything would be an upgrade from the cramped one-bedroom apartment that you share with your mum and your pets. But you're right, Clayton, this is nice. In fact, it might even offer a glimpse into what life could be like for you and Anali if you had a home for yourselves. And that realisation definitely hasn't gone unnoticed by Anali. She's finally getting to live the American experience that she wanted. She's getting to live with just her fiance. This is what she was hoping for.
Realmente me di cuenta que tener este espacio juntos, por fin los dos solos, viviendo esta experiencia por fin.
Enjoy it while it lasts, Anali, because it's not gonna last long. But we'll get to that shortly. Now, we join them later on that evening as Clayton and Anali double date with Kameron and his girlfriend. They're meeting up for a few drinks. Now, despite the fact that these two have known each other virtually for so long, you can definitely sense the real life awkwardness. It's taking some adjusting having to go from video game conversation to, real life small talk.
So how's your guys' day been?
It's been going good, man. Going good. Nothing too much to complain about. Pretty easy day.
There's always something to complain about, Cameron. Come on now.
That's definitely true for Clayton. There is always something to complain about, more often than not his sex life. But for now, on a happier note, Clayton takes the opportunity to ask Kameron the big question. The question he flew all this way to California to ask him.
I would like you to be my best man.
Oh, man.
Because you are my best friend.
I'm honored, man. Thank you so much. I'm in 100%.
It's a lovely moment for the two guys, and clearly a testament to how deep their virtual bromance was. But now that official best man business is out of the way, it's officially time for the drinks to start flowing. But you know what else won't stop flowing? Clayton's word vomit. He just can't help himself as he begins to overshare about his favourite subject, his sex life. Or rather, his lack thereof. It's so hard to watch. I mean, he completely overshares with the poor waitress who just wanted his drinks order.
Virgin because I don't drink alcohol, so I gotta get the virgin version because I'm effectively living as a virgin because we haven't been having sex recently. I just figured I would share that with you.
Oh boy, Clayton's clearly trying but failing to show off here. He's attempting to be that funny guy, but in doing that, what he's really doing is putting Anali down. He's embarrassing her. Let's not forget, although Anali doesn't speak fluent English, she can hold a conversation. She does appear to know exactly what Clayton's talking about. And understandably, it's making her feel really awkward.
Cuando Clayton empieza a hablar de este tema tan incómodo para mí e irrespetuoso porque estoy ahí en la mesa.
For a guy that was hoping to get lucky on this trip, it's night one and he's already just completely shot himself in the foot. I'm pretty positive there's zero chance of any intimacy tonight after that. Anali's completely mortified and everyone around the table except for Clayton himself can sense it. But for some inexplicable reason, Clayton just keeps on pushing.
I know what those eyes mean, man. Shut up.
What's she gonna do, not have sex with me?
Being around his friend has suddenly given Clayton this bravado, but I can guarantee if he carries on like this, Anali's not going to be his fiance for too much longer. I hate to say it, but the awkward way he's acting here really highlights his lack of social life. It's clear he's rusty around people. It's clear he doesn't have that many real-life friends. Like, the things he's saying, the way he's acting, he's behaving like a total dick. Luckily, it's at this point that Kameron's girlfriend swoops in. She has Anali's back, and she tries to steer this conversation onto a more mature footing.
Have you ever asked her, like, is there any reason why she's not ready?
Voy a traducir para que tus amigos entiendan mejor.
Yeah, that's a great question. In the month that she's been here, starting from the very first night they were together, Anali's been rejecting Clayton and he's been acting like this sad puppy dog. They haven't even once, as far as we've seen, sat down to discuss why. How is Anali feeling about her life in America, their living arrangements, everything that she's encountering? Instead of having that heart-to-heart, instead of attempting to understand her, he's resorted to passive-aggressive comments. But now, having been embarrassed, Anali is ready to speak her truth.
His mother lives with us and the apartment is very small and you can hear everything. It's very uncomfortable for me.
Look, I don't know how true that really is. Like, I don't doubt his mum hearing everything is a mood killer, but I don't think that's the only thing that's going on in her mind. I think, understandably, she's hesitant to have such a big discussion about the intricacies of their relationship with two people who are total strangers, especially as she hasn't even had this conversation with Clayton yet. So I think Anali's actually doing Clayton a favour here by conveniently blaming this just on his mum. But while Anali's response seemed to be a way of protecting him, Clayton, on the other hand, takes this opportunity to humiliate her further.
I tried to, get a nice little romantic getaway in Indiana. Didn't work out. Where's Mom? Mom wasn't there.
The way he said that, the little gesture, the shrugging of his shoulders, it's as if he's speaking to a child. It's pretty condescending. And given that Clayton's completely missed the hint that she doesn't want to talk about this, Anali resorts to having to spell it out for him very, very clearly.
Es incómodo para mí divulgando información privada de ambos, no con demás personas porque no es justo.
Yeah, the way that Anali said that, it's private for both of us, just further convinces me that there's a lot more to their lack of intimacy than only Clayton's mum. And one thing that I'm certain of is that this conversation definitely isn't going to get him the result he's hoping for. All he's doing is pushing his fiancée further away. You see, now Anali doesn't even want to stay here with his friends. She wants to leave immediately, and I can't say I blame her.
She said that it's uncomfortable and she wants to leave.
Jesus, you're in trouble, buddy.
Yeah, something tells me it's not just the bar that Anali wants to leave. She might be thinking about leaving this entire relationship, leaving the States for good. Keep in mind, this is the first time she's ever seen Clayton around a friend. He's got no friends back home. This was a big test. It was their first social outing. She wanted to see a more social side to Clayton. But the way he's acting, this false confidence, is definitely not something she finds attractive.
Si estuviera realmente en casa, su amigo se daría cuenta que no es un macho, sino un gatito. Nunca vi este lado de Clayton y realmente me molesta.
Yeah, Anali, that's a pretty accurate description. In the privacy of their own home, it's always Anali who's the strong one. She's the bigger personality. She's clearly the one wearing the pants. And I've got a feeling that the next time we see these two after this horrible encounter, it's gonna be Clayton who's the one feeling embarrassed, who's gonna be the one with his tail between his legs.